Welcome, class of 2022. We're excited to share with you quite a bit of information in this presentation. I'm Stacy Helmbrecht, one of the counselors at Ravenwood High School, and we also have Ms. Schulze. We are your hosts for this presentation.
Senior year milestone. So the purpose of this meeting is we just want to kind of give you some information that you're going to need as you're going into senior year to prepare for graduation, college applications, and scholarship applications. So we hope to cover a lot of your questions in this presentation, but know that we're here for you for individual questions if you have additional questions after this.
Like Ms. Schulze said, the focus for your senior year, especially in the fall, is going to be getting those applications out. You should be doing college visits now, virtual visits online, and anytime you can, go and visit a college campus. Even if it's not the specific college that you're looking at, go to a large college, go to a small college, and get a feel for what the campuses are like. Scholarships, that's going to be a lot of your senior year. We're going to send out a lot of updates on that, but your primary source of scholarship is going to be the college that you apply to. So be sure to look on their websites for all that information. We've got the ACT. You can take it again this summer. We encourage you to do that. And in the fall, we'll offer it again here at Ravenwood. In general, for most colleges, the last time you can take the ACT and have it count for scholarships is going to be the October and in some cases the December test. So make sure you plan on taking those exams early. The other things on here, turn in your PE waivers, keep your grades up, be involved, get some community service in, and make sure that if you have any credit recovery, you have got that done.
Post high school options. So, as your school counselors, we're here to support you in whatever pathway you're leaning towards post high school. So, for many of you, that will be a 4 year university or a 2 year college. We also have many students that choose to go into technical schools, the military, maybe straight into the workforce. And for some students, they choose to take that gap year. If you're leaning towards a gap year, we always encourage you to have some sort of plan with that gap year, whether it be a gap year program, or maybe you study abroad, or you work abroad, or you have some workplace experience during that gap year.
We also encourage you, if you're considering a gap year, go ahead and apply for your college in your senior year. You can get accepted, and then you can notify the college that you would like to take a gap year. And many times they will just postpone your enrollment and you don't have to reapply. So that's a really good idea. Do the application while we're here to help you. That's because we love to help you. We want to do that.
That's right.
So let's talk about your transcript. You have to meet these graduation requirements. This is nothing new. We've been telling you this since 8th grade when we started talking with you. You're going to have 4 years of English, at least 4 credits of math. Even if you took Algebra 1 in 8th grade, you still have to take math in your senior year. You need at least 3 science credits, 3 social studies credits. You should have your year and a half of PE. If you played a sport and you have not turned in a PE waiver, you need to get a PE waiver from us and just get the signatures on it and turn it in. It's the easiest credit you can get. Um, Foreign language, 2 credits. Fine art, make sure you have a fine art. If you have not taken one, that's the ABCDs, art, band, choir, drama. Also guitar, we throw that one in there. So make sure you get that in your senior year if you haven't already done it. Your elective focus should be clear. You should have taken personal finance and have at least 22 credits. And then you say, but Ms. Helmbrecht, I already have 22 credits. Do I still have to take 2 classes? Sorry, 6 classes. You do have to take 6 classes. That's required for full-time students. So you may have 28 credits. That's quite possible. You'll still get to take all those classes.
So when looking at a transcript, we have an example up here for you. This is what we send to colleges. So Colleges don't see report cards or quarter grades or that sort of thing. What they see are semester grades, as you'll see here. So at the very top, where you'll see that circled, it says cum weighted GPA. That's your cumulative GPA, because we operate on a weighted GPA. So honors and AP classes have more weight to them based on the grade you receive in them. And that is the GPA that you will always, always give to colleges. That is your GPA. We do not have an unweighted GPA. Some colleges will ask for that, and you just put NA or leave that question blank. All we have is the cumulative GPA. You'll also see the Hope Scholarship GPA listed underneath that. That is purely for the Hope Scholarship, which is the Tennessee-based scholarship for students attending Tennessee-based schools, colleges in the future. It operates under the Tennessee Uniform GPA, which is different from our Ravenwood GPA. On that scale, like 93 to 100 is an A, whereas for us, 91 to 100 is an A. And they do not weight grades, so honors and APs are not treated differently. So that's why that GPA may look a little different to you, and that's okay. That's not something that you report to colleges. It's not something that they're interested in knowing. It is its own GPA purely for the Hope Scholarship only. And as Ms. Helmbrecht was covering a lot of our graduation requirements, take a look at your transcript if you want to see it. I believe they've opened it back up in Skyward where you can kind of run an unofficial transcript. Do you know if I'm right, Ms. Helmbrecht?
I'm not sure if they have that or not, but if you do need an unofficial copy of your transcript, your counselors, we're happy to print that for you, or Ms. McGinnity, our registrar, can print you a transcript so that you can take a look at it and make sure you're on track.
Absolutely. And know that we appreciate it if you just take a look, but know that we also, as your counselors, do review your transcript before your senior year. And then we give your transcript to another counselor who then reviews it as well. So we have many, many people looking to make sure that you are on track for graduation. And that's not something that you need to worry about, but it's certainly something that you can look at if you're interested in doing so. And then for honors diploma and those sorts of questions, we have all of that listed on our school counseling website, which we'll share with you. So you can just kind of track that. I believe for the honors, WCS honors diploma, you need 14 credits in honors or AP classes. And is that correct?
And that's something that as we go through your senior year, and really in April of your senior year, we'll have an opportunity to review that. So, because your senior year classes count for that also.
Correct. And there's a GPA requirement as well. But again, you can kind of take a look at that and see if you're on track. And as Ms. Helmbrecht was saying, what's your focus area? Did you take 3 AP classes? Did you do 3 architecture classes? That sort of thing. If you're curious and you don't think maybe you have an elective focus, you can always reach out to your counselor. We're happy to review that.
And so your biggest homework of senior year is the college applications. During your senior year, all students are allowed 4 college visits. These are excused absences for you to go visit a school. You take advantage of these. Take a day trip, go visit. If you drive, you can stop at more than one school along the way. Of course, again, you can officially visit a school, or you can just go on campus and drive and walk around and look for yourself. Senior year, a perk of senior year is you may be exempt from your semester exams. You have to have a 91 or higher in the class and have no unexcused absences. Class rank, I know you guys are probably getting used to this. It's been going on for a little while. We're not ranking students, so when you're filling out applications, just put no, not available. And you can come ask us. Guess what? We don't even know. It's not available to you. It's not available to us. So that's just one of those things that we have. Ms. Schulze mentioned the GPA. We only report your cumulative weighted GPA. The Hope Scholarship is not an unweighted GPA. If a school asks for that, they have to calculate it themselves based on your transcript. It's not something that we do.
As you're looking at applications for colleges, there are lots of different options. Some universities have their own application system on their website, and you can apply through that. A very common application that many of our students use is called the Common Application. It's its own website, and there are hundreds of universities on this one application, and it kind of minimizes some of the workload for you because you don't have to refill out some of those basic questions over and over for each individual school. Another popular website is the Coalition application website. It's similar to the Common App. Not quite as many schools on that, are not used as much, but it is an option. Some schools require a secondary school report. I'm trying to remember. I know UT does, correct?
Yeah, the secondary school reports and a lot of things, that's your transcript, or it may be a counselor recommendation. They use that term for different things. Know that if you do need to submit a secondary school report, that's going to come from your counselor.
Correct. And just keep an eye on deadlines. Sometimes the Common App can be a little confusing with the deadlines. If you don't go into the individual school on the Common App to kind of see, it'll show you early decision or early action deadlines, regular decision, and those sorts of things. But sometimes a scholarship deadline is sooner than the regular decision deadline for application. So for instance, there'll be some schools that say January 1st is the latest you can apply. But if you want to be eligible for their scholarships, you have to apply by December 1st. Please keep that in mind as you're thinking about taking your ACT and SAT. You want to make sure if you do some of those earlier deadlines that you have the score that you want to send. And it takes a while for ACT to calculate those scores. So if you're really anxious to look at early action or early decision deadlines, you may want to take the ACT in the summer to have the best score available to send. And you will send your ACT or SAT scores directly from those websites. We do not send those for you. We send your transcript for you, as well as a school profile, which lists information about our school. And then, if needed, we also send a counselor recommendation.
So we'll look at, for example, UTK. They have their vol application, and that goes directly through the UT website, or they're also available on the Common App. Again, the Common App it's convenient because you have to enter in. I skipped a slide. Sorry, you have to enter in your name, your email address, your address, all those things only one time, and then you can use that information for multiple schools. So you can see the next example, Florida State. You can apply directly through their website. You can apply through the Common App, or you can apply through the Coalition. Again, Ravenwood High School counselors, we're very familiar with the Common App. We don't work with the Coalition as much, but if that is the only option for a school you want to apply for, absolutely, we will work with that application and help get you in. So we'll take a look about our counselors. You kind of probably know who we are by now. This is your current counselors. We will be reorganizing this summer, so you may change a counselor. We're still happy to help you. If you have a good relationship with your current counselor and it changes, you're welcome to ask for some help. That's fine, but just do know that it will change over the summer, and as soon as we have that information, we will send it out to you.
For transcript requests, the nice thing about the Common Application and the Coalition is that we as counselors can upload your transcripts for you in the school profile. We get notified whenever a student requests our assistance for those applications, and we upload it for you. If you're applying to a school where we are not able to upload for you, so a lot of times that's through the school individually, and you're not including us as counselors in that process, then you go to www.orderatranscript.com. It's free, it's quick, it's easy, and that is where you will order a transcript to send to the college of your choice.
As far as letters of recommendation, we are happy to write you a letter of recommendation. Um, Not all schools require a letter of recommendation. Sometimes they're optional, sometimes they're just not required. Our information, our recommendation on that is if it's not required, we don't generally send that because schools don't always want it. They have a lot of applications to review. And unless there's a really particular circumstance that you need a counselor to help explain for you, um, we don't recommend sending that letter unless it's required. We have a student data sheet. This is basically just a way to help you build a student resume. If you already have a student resume, you can use either format to send it to your counselor. We have 300 students each, and it's hard for us to know all the details. So this is where you tell us what you want us to tell the school. Help me help you. Um, Tell me what you want me to tell them, especially if there's anything in particular.
And you'll likely need at least one or two teacher recommendation letters for colleges. So keep in mind, you want to ask a teacher that you've known at least for one semester. You need to ask them in person or via email. Of course, I hope this goes without saying, be very polite and courteous and ask them several weeks in advance. Keep in mind that a lot of teachers will say, this year I'm writing X number of recommendation letters. And then as students ask, they kind of keep track of how many they've been writing. And if they hit their limit, they may say to you, I'm so sorry, but hit my limit for the year and, please ask another teacher. And this is just to, protect their time as teachers as well. We have many teachers here. And so if you have one in particular that you're very, could write you a really wonderful letter of recommendation, I would just ask them early, maybe when you return in August. And it is also school policy that we do not give copies of our recommendation letters to students. This includes when you're on those college applications, we ask you to waive your FERPA rights. We ask you to waive the right to see those letters. This is just so that everybody can be professional and take care of the letters and send them to the college. It looks good for you. Colleges like to see that you trust what other people are going to say about you because you know that they only have good things to say. And a teacher wouldn't write you a letter if they didn't have good things to say about you. And just remember that not every teacher can fulfill your recommendation letter request. And if they can't, they will politely tell you so. Do not take offense to this. There is a wonderful teacher out there that will be ready to write you that letter.
We have a lot of athletes. We love our athletes. So NCAA, hopefully you've been paying attention to this since freshman year because it does go back through all of your high school courses. Um, Anything we can do for NCAA, let us know how to help you with that, but also talk with your coaches. If you do think you may be recruited to play a sport, there's a form you can pick up in the counseling office that will allow us to send a transcript when they request. Otherwise, you have to come in and request a transcript every time a coach wants to see it. So that's a real simple thing. Come in and fill out that form. When we're talking about applications, we'll talk about early decision versus early action.
Early decision. So the biggest difference here is that this is a binding agreement between you and the college. So you are agreeing when you apply that if accepted and offered a financial aid package that's adequate, that you will attend that college. Applying early usually means, November 1st time frame, give or take. And this needs to be to your first choice college. You'll receive your admission decision earlier, which is nice, well in advance, and usually kind of like December time frame. And you can only apply to one college for early decision. So keep in mind with early decision, this is not for everyone. This is not something that everybody needs to be doing. It is really for that student that this school is the only school I've ever wanted to go to. I've, loved everything about this place and I want to give myself every opportunity to be able to go there. And you're basically signifying to that school that they're your top choice. If you apply to other colleges under regular admission plans and you're accepted early decision, it is then up to you to withdraw all the applications that you've put out to other colleges.
On the other hand, we have early action. Early action is non-binding. You can apply to multiple schools. Basically, this is you asking the school, please tell me sooner if I'm accepted or not. You're asking the school to take action on your application earlier than a regular application. Um, yeah, it's just asking for a faster response.
Mm-hmm. Scholarships. Okay, so we have our GPA calculation here. We talked about that a little bit when we were looking at the transcript. This just kind of lays it out for you. As I said earlier, the Hope Scholarship, as you can see here, is a totally different GPA system, which is why that looks different than your cumulative weighted GPA. But you will report your cumulative weighted GPA for scholarship applications.
The school information sheet that we send with all transcripts also explains the Williamson County GPA versus the Hope Scholarship GPA to the schools. So it is not your responsibility to explain that. We send the information. The Hope Scholarship, this is going to be our most popular. We've been, again, talking about this since you were in 8th grade. This is it gives you a total of $16,000 over 4 years. Starts off with the first 2 years, you get 3,500, and then if you maintain a good GPA for your college, it goes up to 4,500 for your 3rd and 4th years. That Hope Scholarship, you have to have at least a 21 ACT or a GPA of 3.0, and that is the Hope Scholarship GPO. And then we have the General Assembly Merit Scholarship. Mostly we just call that the GAMS. And it's an extra $1,500 a year added on to your Hope Scholarship. These are available if you attend any school in Tennessee, not Kentucky, not Alabama, only for schools in Tennessee. But from Vanderbilt to UTK, the Hope Scholarship is applicable. The next scholarship we have is the Tennessee Promise.
Yes, so the Tennessee Promise is another excellent opportunity for students that are staying in Tennessee. So it's up to $4,000 per year of financial aid for a 2-year college or a technical program. And that application opens August 1st. It's a little different from the Hope in that you do have to apply during your senior year, and we'll be sending out lots of information about that. It is good for many community colleges, as you will see there, and there is no minimum GPA or ACT. You do have to, again, complete that application and complete the FAFSA by February 1st. And there will be a meeting to talk about community service requirements for that. But if you graduate from a Tennessee high school, you are eligible for this wonderful opportunity.
And guys, I know a lot of you are like, I'm not going to a 2-year college. I'm going to a 4-year college. This is your backup plan. In fall of 2019, we told the seniors, fill out the Tennessee Promise, apply for the Tennessee Promise. This is your backup plan. And they all said, well, many of them said, I'm not going to a 2-year college. It's 10 minutes. I don't want to do it. It's a 10-minute application. It's really easy. But then COVID came around, and a lot of those students, when they were trying to decide, they said, I'm just going to go to Columbia State rather than go not live on a college campus and do all my courses online. And they didn't have this financial aid available because they didn't do the application. Do this application. It's 10 minutes of your life. It's worth it.
Absolutely.
So the next thing is, and this will be a link when we post it, will be a link to our Ravenwood counseling website. We list as many scholarships as we can possibly find on that website. We can't list all the scholarships because there's just so many of them. We are also not scholarship experts. Those would be your financial aid people at the college you want to attend is going to be your scholarship expert. And in general, if you have a question about scholarships, my first response is ask Google. And then after you've read all of Google's answers and you're really, really confused, you can ask your counselor and we'll help explain a little bit more on that.
And there are lots of free websites where you can put in information about yourself and it will try to help you find scholarships that are geared towards you. What we mostly post about are local scholarships that would not be readily available or advertised out in the general public. So when it comes to like nationwide scholarships and that sort of thing, you're going to be looking on those free websites at that for that.
Right. And again, scholarships are money. It's not easy to get money. You have to work for money. You have to, if you want to collect scholarships, you're going to have to do a lot of work for finding them. Again, your first source, look at the UTK website, look at the Vanderbilt website, look at the Columbia State website, look at the website of whatever schools you are applying to see their list of specific scholarships for their schools. Then we've got some student recognition. This is our Val and Sal. This policy changed a few years ago because we have so many amazing students. It was not working out well to try and recognize just one student. So we do recognize multiple students for valedictorian and salutatorian. This information is posted for you. There is also an application or a submission form that we'll ask you to do probably in April. If you believe you qualify for either valedictorian or salutatorian recognition. So we'll get that information out to you.
Yes, and again, talking about the honors diploma, we will send more information out about that in April, but it is always available to you if you want to just review and, like we talked about, review your transcript with the different options that are available to you.
And the honors diploma are not something that's reported to colleges. This is our opportunity to recognize you for what you've accomplished during high school, and it is notated in the graduation program. It's not something that's on your transcript. It's not something that's on your diploma. It's not a different diploma than the student sitting next to you. It is just a recognition that we give in the graduation ceremony. And then this last page, go to our website, look at everything there. We put a ton of information on it. We are looking forward to helping you. We will be scheduling meetings in the fall, but we also, again, you're entering into adulthood, so reach out to us and let us know when you need help. Ms. Schulze, any final parting words of wisdom?
Yeah, just please bookmark this website. Parents, bookmark it as well. The reason we created this website is that all the information is available to both students and parents. So we try to communicate when colleges are coming to visit, and we keep that calendar on this page so you know when to go speak with someone. If you're very interested in a college, talking to a local rep for that college is a great way to give yourself a little boost. And so we encourage you to take advantage of that. Keep looking at this website, and of course, come and ask us if you need anything. We will put out there that we're available for meetings in the fall of your senior year, but that again kind of falls on you to come say, hey, I want to meet with you, and we can walk through some things with you.
Congratulations on making it this far, class of 2022. We are looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.